choosing the right technology for your e-learning adventure. How do I take my current classroom interactions and make them available for students who are now working from home? What technology should I incorporate? How do I select the best technology? In this short video, we will be discussing some practices to consider while you grapple with these tough questions. We will be using a design model known as ADDIE. ADDIE is an acronym that stands for Analyze, Design, Develop, Implement, Evaluate. Let's break these down. Analyze. The first thing we want to do is analyze our audience and their unique characteristics. You should write down all the information you can think of about your learners. How old are they? What subject are you teaching? What kind of technology does your students have access to? Are there any special populations within your learner group? Do you need to be able to differentiate the learning or activities based on those special population needs? These are examples of questions you should be asking yourself, but they are by no means the only questions. You know your learners best. Make sure you are thinking through all the considerations. Next, what kind of technology do you have access to? Write down your list of resources. What kind of hardware is available? What software or programs do you have? How familiar are you with these programs? How comfortable are you learning new programs? What kind of technology support is available to you? Again, this is not an exhaustive list, but is intended to get you thinking about what you have and don't have, as well as your personal experience and comfort with technology in order to make the best decisions for your situation. Now that you have analyzed your learners, resources, and personal comfort with technology, it's time to turn your attention to what you want to do. Design. There are a number of ways to deliver content in a distance format. It is now time to start thinking about how you want to deliver that content. Do you want to take your current face-to-face classroom plans and make it available at a distance? Do you want to try something completely new? What are the guidelines your institution is giving you? If this is your first time putting together information into a distance format, I recommend taking your face-to-face lesson plans and adapting them to a distance learning environment. You'll notice I keep referring to this process as distance learning because every student does not have equal access to the internet and devices will vary. You need to consider how you will deliver this content to every student equally. For instance, in some cases, you might have to develop paper packets to mail to students who do not have internet access. Let's look at some common items found in lesson plans and figure out how we can incorporate technology into those plans. Let's first look at how to deliver lecture content to students. There are a number of ways to do this. If you or your students have access to communication technology, this can be as simple as a telephone. There can be a lot accomplished via a conference call with your students. Or you could do a video call. Technologies like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, or Google Meet can take you face-to-face with your students. There's also communication platforms that will deliver a holistic live presentation experiences to your students. Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting are a couple of these types of platforms that allow you face-to-face interactions with students, screen sharing capability, and student polling to present a complete live lesson. This is not a complete list of technologies available, but these are a good place to start looking. Search engines are your friends and can help point you to the right technology platform. Remember to change up keywords in your search if you are not finding what you need. Also, keep in mind you do not have to start with a complete solution. Maybe you start with a phone call while you figure out how to integrate video technologies, and as time goes on, you add technology. If you're using a technology that allows you to record your live event, I advise doing that as well. It is nice to offer recordings for students who missed the initial offering or for students who might want to review the information you provided. Speaking of recordings, if a live event is not right for you, then you might want to begin with a presentation that you can send to students to do the work on their own time. There are a number of technologies that allow for this asynchronous engagement. PowerPoint or Google Slides are a great place to begin. Both allow you to create a visual presentation and add audio. This can then be saved and sent to students who can play the presentation anytime they like. PowerPoint also gives the user the ability to play the presentation offline, meaning you can send it to a student who might have a computer but not reliable internet, and they will be able to view the presentation without being connected to the internet. If you want to step up a little from PowerPoint and make content more dynamic, you can look at resources like Prezi. If you want to share your screen, Google offers an extension called Screencastify that will allow you to record up to 10 minutes of audio and video of your computer screen. You can also download the video and convert it using an online video converter to be edited by any number of programs. I use a Microsoft program called Video Editor that I found on my PC, but there are a lot of video editing products out there. Again, these are not the only tools or ways to get your lecture material to students, but are simple and affordable ways to start the process. Do not be afraid to iterate on your process or experiment with new technologies as you become familiar and comfortable working in this new space. Let's briefly discuss assessments. Again, there are a number of tools that one can choose from when trying to assess student learning. Google Forms has several types of surveys that will collect data and provide feedback to students. If you are using YouTube videos, whether videos you create or content that was created by somebody else, Edpuzzle offers the ability to assess students as they are watching the videos. Technology also allows you to get creative and have students construct artifacts to demonstrate their understanding of the content you are presenting. Google has a number of free tools like Google Slides and Google Docs that can be shared between teachers and students to work collaboratively in real time and produce a product. If your school has a Microsoft 365 subscription that is available to students and faculty, you will also have the ability to collaborate and work on documents and projects in real time. Many students enjoy creating videos using their smartphones and posting to the internet. If you have students like this, asking them to produce a YouTube video or TikTok based on content is a great way to engage them in learning. Lastly, you can have students work in groups and communicate with each other using technology that they are already familiar with, like Facebook. You can encourage students to form learning communities through a variety of platforms to help support their learning. Development. Once you have figured out what you want students to do and the technology you want them to use, it is now time to start putting it all together. You need to write out your design plan. You will want to base this on your lesson plans, and then start developing the content and instructions using the technology you have chosen. Remember, you can begin with basic technologies and make improvements as you go. Implementation. Once you completed your development, you are ready to send the information to students. There's a number of ways to deliver this content to students. Again, in some instances, you might simply need to have paper packets available for students who do not have all the needed technology. You can even place a downloadable paper packet link on your school's website in case parents have access to download it at work for their kids at home. Or the kids can get to a Wi-Fi hotspot for limited times during the day to download or upload needed information. You should set a schedule for when information will be updated. There are a number of school systems who have been using hotspots to support students who might not have access to the internet. Some school systems have been able to lend hotspots directly to students, while others have parked buses with hotspots in specific locations that allow a signal to reach students in those areas. Others have partnered with local internet providers to offer hotspots for students who are in their coverage area but who might not have internet during this time of disruption, providing a signal they can access from nearby routers. Many smartphones have the ability to allow users to hotspot or tether their user data to support online activity when not in Wi-Fi. Also, consider how students might leverage their mobile devices. Even if they do not have Wi-Fi or the ability to tether between devices, mobile devices provide a wide range of functions that can be used for learning, like watching and recording videos, answering email and text messages. I have even written papers using Google Docs and the speech-to-text function on my phone. When you implement, you want to organize the content and provide clear instructions for students on how and what they need to view and how to access all of the content. If you are placing this on the web for students, you have a couple of choices. You will want to contact your school's administration or information technology department to see what options are available to you. If your school uses a learning management system like Google Classroom, Edmodo, Moodle, or Canvas, please use it. These systems were built for online learning. Another option is to build a website to house information and communicate with students. There are a number of platforms like Weebly, Wix, or Google Sites that would allow you to build a site to provide the information. If you have never done this, there are tutorials that can be found online, and with a little work, you can figure it out. When placing content in any system, try to keep it organized and all in one place. No one wants to go on a clicking scavenger hunt looking for information. Also, keep your design simple. That is the easiest way to make sure it is organized and clear for students to engage in the material. You want them focused on the content, not how to find the content. Evaluate. This is where the iteration mentioned earlier comes into play. See how students are responding and make changes that you believe will improve the experience. Also, at this point, you have the option to experiment with new technologies you might want to try out. Talk to other teachers who are in the same boat as you and exchange ideas.